All right. Hello, everyone. So we're going to be making the solar system now, the edible solar system, and hopefully you and your family will enjoy eating it when you're done. So what I did is I put some Oreo cookies in the freezer for about 7 minutes so that it would be just a little bit easier to separate the top layer. And we want to be decorating the white part, okay, for each planet. You can just set this aside or pop it in your mouth, whatever you want to do. And what I did is I took a not sharp knife, like a butter knife, they call it. And I just sort of wedged it between there to separate the white from the top cookie. All right. And I think if you put it in the freezer for 5 minutes, it's going to be easier for you to separate and easier for you to draw on. So the first thing I'm going to do, and by the way, my son Bradley's over here separating some of these sprinkles so that we have different colors to decorate the planets with. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Mercury. Mercury, we chose, it's hard to get the exact color, but we chose white and yellow. Now it's already white, so I'm taking my edible food coloring pen, and I'm just going to put a little white or yellow on here. And that's going to be our Mercury. And then in a moment, I'll probably add some yellow sprinkles. So you can see I just sort of tapped around, got some of that food coloring on there. You could even use regular food coloring, just put a couple drops around if you want. Just be very careful because food coloring does stain anything it touches, okay? All right, Mercury is closest to the sun. Let me backtrack here and get a sun. I'm going to close this up. I got these on Amazon, by the way. And I think I'll grab a couple of these yellow sprinkles and just drop a few of those on there. Okay, so the sun, I'm going to take a large marshmallow and I'm just going to color it yellow. Now you can, pause the video and take your time with this. I'm kind of going fast so that the video is not 3 hours long. So if I wanted to, I could color all around it. That would be really pretty, but I'm just going to color the top. Maybe in a few minutes, Bradley will help me make it even prettier. All right, so that's my sun. Now this is not to scale, because obviously the sun is the biggest thing in the solar system that everything revolves around. But here, my sun is smaller than Mercury. And all the planets are pretty much going to be the same size because they're all Oreos. Oops. Okay, so the next one is Venus. I got to separate another Oreo. You can be doing this live while you're watching if you'd like. Just pause it if I'm going too fast. Speed it up if I'm going too slow. Whatever you need to do. Okay, so there's Venus. And we're going to use red, white, and orange. Red, white, and orange. So I'm going to grab some red, white. Oh, wait, yeah, orange. Here's some orange sprinkles. Here's a few red. And some white. Well, I mean, there's already white on there, so I don't need to do white sprinkles. All right, so that's Venus. I could also, maybe I'll just do some coloring. Some of the planets have like a tan tone to them. We're using orange for tan, but I actually have this brown pen I could also use. I think I'll add a little bit of brown in here. It's kind of coming out a little bit black, but that's okay. Okay, so that's my Venus. So you can put these in order. Mercury goes here, Venus goes here. You could also put the sun right in the center and then orbit them you know, all around, but just they should be in the order away from the sun that they actually occur. My tray is a little bit on the small side, so I don't know how it's going to work out best yet. So right now I'm just putting everything in order. So next is our earth. And you can do multiple colors. I'm just going to do blue and green. You could also, maybe I'll add a little brown in there for like mountains and things. I'll add a little brown for like mountain ranges, that kind of thing. And that's my earth. You're also welcome to try to write on there which planet it is. Okay, so Mercury, Venus, Earth, and next is Mars. That's Bradley's favorite planet. Would you like to do Mars? No? Okay. Bradley actually told me one day when we were driving home from school that he might want to go to Mars one day. And I said, please don't, because you might not come back. But somebody's got to do it, right? Okay, so I've got orange and red. Actually, let me kind of mix those around. And I'll do some red food coloring pen. Again, I'm going fast. Feel free to take as long as you want with this, be creative. Okay, that's my Mars. Actually, Mars looks a lot like Venus. I'm going to add a little extra red just to make it look less like Venus. There. If you have any kind of little characters, you could put them on there and call them Martians too if you want. We don't really have any characters in this house. Okay, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. Next is Jupiter. Okay, we're going to do orange, yellow, and white, but actually I'm going to skip the orange this time. I'm going to do brown, yellow, and white. And also it has that big storm, which is kind of orangish. Remember the storm on Jupiter. So the storm that is 3 Earths wide. So I'm going to put the storm on Jupiter first. And it has sort of some stripes on it. Oops. Color these or close these so they don't dry up. My icing is not quite cold anymore from the freezer. So I have to sort of top it, I guess. I'll do some orange stripes. Okay. Actually, I'm going to put a little more brown on there to make that storm stand out. Next is Saturn. Saturn is similar to Jupiter in the colors. And Saturn also has rings, so we're going to figure out some creative way to put rings around Saturn. What, use this for Saturn? Oh, and just put the sprinkles on it? Here, you do it.
Like you put this as the base, and you put this around it, or you try to do something.
Oh, like break it up and put that around it,
Yeah.
like break it up. Oh,
You put because it's rocks.
yeah. Or we can do these.
Yeah.
This icing is getting gooey, but okay. So for Saturn, we were thinking about yellow and orange. I think we'll stick to that plan. And you can see I'm running out of room for my last two planets, but that's okay. We'll kind of loop it around, I guess. Okay, yellow and orange, and then what do you think I should do first for the rings? Like this stuff?
Where's fine.
The rings around Saturn are like sort of dust particles and things. So I'm just going to kind of put a line of dust particles going over it. This right here is pure cacao, which is what chocolate is made of. It's very bitter. And it's old. It needs to be thrown away anyway. So I was like, well, I'll just use this in my project. Okay. It'll turn out good. Although the rings of Saturn are a little bit more horizontal than that, but I'm running out of room. Okay, so after Saturn, we have Uranus, which is blue, and then Neptune is blue. So that's easy. Can you decorate one blue and I'll decorate the other? Uranus. You can do that one. And Uranus also has a ring at like a very angled. It's quite angled. And then what did I say? Neptune. Okay. Uranus also has a ring, which is angled almost vertical.
You did good.
But not quite. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. And this one is, oh, you're using that blue. All right, I'll grab some of these sprinkles. Are there any more blue sprinkles? I'm gonna pull them out of this pile here.
Sure.
Okay, I'll take that in a second. Now, you can do rings. Okay, so those look similar, but we're not going to put rings around Neptune. So that's how we'll know the difference. Okay, now we've done all the planets. So that's the solar system. We could do Pluto, which is one of the dwarf planets. But I'm going to skip to a comet, which is made of ice and dust. So I'm going to put a comet here. Ice and dust. I think I'm going to use this just powdered sugar. Could do the popcorn too. We just grabbed stuff from around the kitchen. And a comet, I guess we would want to sort of make it like thin on one side and then it gets wider. Oh goodness. Starts out thin and gets wider. You could look up Halley's Comet and see if it gives you like a visual. Okay. That's my comet. Oh, the asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter. So here's Mars. This is just a bunch of rocky substances that are kind of free floating, but they orbit the sun. And it's like this long belt of rocky debris that's in orbit around the sun. Okay, that's the asteroid belt. We can put just different meteoroids, or meteors. I have these. So for anyone who took my, I think it's Q3 science class, I used these when we made blood. They're red. And let's see, where do I want to put these? So meteors are meteoroids that are entering the atmosphere of any planet. This is Earth, so I'm just going to put one right here. We'll just pretend like it's entering the atmosphere, it's burning up. It looks like a shooting star. And meteoroids are just like floating around. This is before they enter the atmosphere. Okay, so that's about it. What else could I add here? Maybe a black hole. I have a black, I'll go ahead and do that. That'll be my last thing. Now, this is not necessarily part of our solar system. It's sort of off in the distance, far, far away, in a galaxy far, far away. So I'll paint this black with my edible pen. We can call this a black hole. Okay, and anything else you want to put on here to be creative. If you think it's something I'm not going to know what it is, then go ahead and label it. And that is it. And I look forward to seeing your picture or your video, whatever you want to share with me. And thank you for participating. Bye, everyone.